Everybody is going to retire at some point. And what if you've worked throughout your entire life, built a couple of properties, and now you are looking at this retirement and it's giving you a bit of a headache? And this is a story, my good friend, of someone else who is here at the TJ Tribe, and they've been having some bit of challenges, and we jumped in not so long ago to help them. But I also thought it's a good lesson for us to learn from them. On Monday, 10 minutes of learning. So here we go. I met out Ntate Lucas. He has around about 16 properties in and around Soweto. And he also have another house, which is like his family house, paid off as well, and a stunning house in Midrand. And this has all been built. He started working in as an engineer or an apprentice back in the days for one of these big parastatal electrical companies out there. And his wife, she's been a teacher, and by now she's a principal. So, and they only had 2 kids throughout their lives. So they've lived their lives very prudently, and they've built around about 17 properties, including the house that they stay in. But now, here is the big challenge. He does not know who lives where in some of these properties, or who's paid rent, or even where some of these houses are. I took a drive with him in some of these properties, wanting to do some due diligence, and we got lost to one of the other houses. So it's a blessing that is basically turned into a burden. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is TJ, your host, and I'm a former banker and founder here at the TJ Tribe. And I do business with a focus in student accommodation, flips, which is buy and sell, and coaching, with the hope that all of us, as young, upcoming modern parents, we can be able to have passive income from real estate. Welcome to the channel. Now, what he now needs is what I call, it's not more properties that he actually needs. It's a better strategy. So he's got everything, but how else can he do something better? So I then went on to say, okay, fine. So what would it take for him to move from Backrooms, because basically most of his real estate is within the township of Soweto, and many of the assets, probably about 12 of them, they have Backrooms. And what if he's to move into a block of flats? How would it look? What's the journey that he can take? You hear what I mean? So I looked at this person, Ntate Lucas, and I said, okay, fine, let's help him out. So number one, Backrooms, it helped him to survive and build. That's the reality. So that's cool. Number two, if we are to look at this properly, so I call him Ntate Lucas because he's way older than me. And I want to stress that many of our parents invested in what I would call volume investing without the structure. But today's investors, they need to centralize control. You need scale with ease, and you also need real appreciation, because that's how you're going to be making money. So it's not just about what you own, it's also about how you own it. Does it make sense? Maybe you can replay that. I don't have to repeat that. But let me just repeat it. It's not just about how you own it. It's also about how, it's not about what you own, sorry, it's about how you own it, right? So that's cool. So let's look at the background of Ntate Lucas here. We did say that he'd been a technician from the word go, rose up the ladder, became an engineer, he became a senior someone else. His wife has been an educator for most of her life, and his employer, they've got a scheme where they help out buying real estate. So he's used that scheme over and over again within the last couple of years. But he was also clever. He tells me back in the 90s, he would go and buy properties that are being repossessed. So he bought some of these properties like for 50,000. The one property he bought it for 25,000. So I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But that's back then in the 90s, right? So he's got 16 properties that are paid off, but all of them are in his name. all of them, the utilities are in his name. In some of these properties, there's no leases. The tenants, he doesn't even know some of them. He's got a caretaker of a caretaker. He's got this auntie who's managing this property. To me, it's just a bit of a mess, but that's how he's managed it. But now it's giving him a bit of a headache. He says, TJ, I've been following you. You're doing amazing things. How can I be doing things a little bit better? So, yeah, I mean, if we go to some of these properties and then he gets stuck where it's supposed to be, we've got the address, but the address is not taking us there. Whew, yeah. Now, so what went wrong here? In my view, it's simply a number of things. Number one, there was no formal records. He didn't keep this, so to me, it was a hobby. There was no lease agreement on the properties. There's no property management. There's no asset register behind it. There's no succession plan beyond him. Actually, both of his kids, they've moved on. When I spoke to one of the kids here, he says, it's my dad's hobby, pays him. So and I'm like, but dude, this is a lot of money. Do you understand how much money this is? He says, yeah, but it's my dad's. Yeah, he's protective around it. So I've just left it. So okay, I see gold here. I see massive, massive gold. He has, number one, equity. His equity is massive, right? In today's money, that's number one. If it's structured correctly, that equity could easily build up a 1 or even 2 block of flats. It's very possible. Now it's time to move from the hustle, in my view, to the holdings, right? Like to proper holdings. That's what I think. Hey, my friends, I apologize that I had to break this conversation, but I just wanted to bring you in this conversation of property management. This can become such a hassle. If you've got more than one tenant and they're in different places, this can really, really become a stress, because all you're now needing to do is to manage tenant issues, maintenance calls, late payments sometimes, and endless paperwork. So my good friends, I have been deploying all my properties to a company that is called Productive Realty. They are out in Boksburg, and all they do is manage properties, particularly for early investors, particularly for seasoned investors, actually for all investors. And they do this because they themselves, they are also investors in properties. They understand the game of investing and managing. The money is not made in buying properties. I always say to people, the money is made in the management of the actual property, because that's a lifelong, you need to be able to pay all the things that you need to pay for. So the company Productive Realty, my good friends, and Leroy Slava, he has a big team there, and they manage their portfolio, and they can also manage your portfolio. So if you're in and around Johannesburg, particularly in the east, they are readily available to actually just be able to jump on board and take over your properties wherever it is right now. They will do placements for you. All of these things that we spoke about, the tenant issues, all of that will be gone, because Productive Realty will be able to manage that for you. So my good friends, all you need to do is drop us an email. You can see where it is here, and the team at Productive Realty will be able to take all of your hassles away from your tenants, and you can be able to have peace of mind, sleep, hassle-free investments whilst they are managing all your tenants for you. So what are you waiting for? Be like me and jump on to Productive Realty. Let the guys help you out. So how would I help Ntate Lucas? What would it take for him to level up to blocks of flats as an example? Because some of in the township where he is, there's already a couple of blocks of flats that are there. So how can we do this? And you might be sitting somewhere else with the same problem with your parents, and this is Monday 10 minutes of learning, hoping that in 10 minutes we can be able to do this. So let's go. Number one, what I did help out with Ntate Lucas is, number one, we said let's structure what you already have, right? So put a structure to it. We created a proper register. We tried to find the title deeds. By the way, he couldn't find 4 of his title deeds. We tried, so we have looked for all the title deeds. We've put them on register. We put them with an attorney under lock and vice and key. We've now put up a tenant list. We're now putting up a pin location on the map on Google to say where is his property. We've given them nice addresses, nice names on all the properties. So we are basically moving from informal to formal. And now we've also tried to move, because of this structure, we are now moving some of the leases and the utilities. We're separating that into the company name. And also over and above that, this is a mammoth task, my good friends. And we're also now moving everything to prepaid, right? So that a lot of it is not coming onto his name. And we're getting him a good manager. A good manager who can oversee all of this. And I then also recommended to him that because he's older, it might be good for him to get a core partner, somebody else who can run, somebody else who's got the energy, and he can then be able to partner up with them. Secondly, he's still thinking about that. Secondly, I would say that there is value in consolidation. So if he's to consolidate, maybe we started now to do what we call a reevaluation, reevaluate each property and decide which one to keep, renovate and sell, and maybe just consolidate maybe about 4 or 5 properties and into like one strong asset, and then maybe put up a 5 to 10 million land block of flats. That's now possible. And that's like now thinking bigger. The third thing that we'll do here is that he lifted up his hand to say, TJ, help me out. But I was like, yeah, I can help you out, but we need to get other professional help, right? And other professional help could look like architects, could look like town planners, quantity surveyors, attorneys, on the ownership of the structure, on his trust, on his company. All of these things is things that we are now moving ahead with him, helping him out with all of this. Municipality pre-checks for zoning, for permits, and all of those things. One of his properties has got a spaza on it. We saw Operation Dudula and all of these guys going out on some of these properties. So I said to him, so is it legal? Can you run a spaza on your property? Is that allowed or is it not allowed? I don't know, right? So these are some of the things that we're just helping out to make sure that everything now is straight and narrow, legal, and it's all properly looked after. I did say that this is a 4-part strategy. So number 4, here we go. Now, I have recommended, or should I say, talking like, okay, now you are retired, you don't have like solid income coming in, but how best would we go forward? And in our conversation, I was like, maybe we need to renovate like 3 to 4 properties, especially the older ones, the ones that are in like bad neighborhood of the Sowetos, and maybe sell off that and then use the cash into the development that we're talking about, because now you've got a bit of equity. And then we go and partner up with people like Umastanda, and there's many other banks out there that you can now partner up, and with that funding you can then be able to build maybe like a 10 and 20 unit. But this is now all centralized on one location, prepaid meters, access control. It's just beautiful when you see something like that, and you can't get lost to a massive building like that. And instead of having 16 tenants that are scattered around. So I am highly honored that he used what he had. This is very important. I want to say this. I want to stress this out. He used what he had at the particular time to build all of these properties that he was buying at auctions, buying in his personal name and things like that. But that was survival then. Now we're looking at it totally different. And I see an opportunity here where we can scale this up. Now, my friend Luke, I was talking to my friend Luke, and he says to me, TJ, he who is faithful in little will be trusted with much, right? That's what my friend Luke said. And when I looked at that, I said, that is so correct, because if you look at Ntate Lucas, he was faithful with property number 1, property number 2. He bought it for 25,000. He bought it for whatever amount, and basically he's grown. But now it's his time to be a little bit wiser with proper buildings, right? So God didn't bring him this far to just be earning 3 grand, 5 grand on a little property. But he's calling Ntate Lucas, in my view, to a system, to a scalable business, and good stewardship also, because this is some of the things. The stewardship is something that is lacking in here. That's the reality of it. You can see that. So my good friends, if you anywhere out there, you're like struggling maybe with some of these things like Ntate Lucas and him, and in your family, this is what you've been doing, and you're looking how best you can do it. There's a strategy that I've just given you. But if you're getting stuck and you need some help, reach out to us. We can help you to just think of it differently. And you can navigate it differently if you'd like. It's just bouncing off ideas. That's what it is. So my good friends, until we meet each other again, it is I, your boy, TJ. Boom.